and Bitcoin probably will have built itself into the political apparatus of those countries. And either their currency will become Bitcoin-backed derivative, like they will back their currency to Bitcoin, or they will adopt Bitcoin. And in any event, your currency gets stronger if you do intelligent things, and your currency gets weaker when you do irrational things. Right? So if you loved a country, you would want the leadership to do intelligent things. So what's intelligent? Generate a lot of power, like nuclear power that's cheap and easy, good road systems, good technology, efficient language, efficient currency, good legal systems, not too much.
Spend less than you make.
Yeah, all of these rational things, right? Adopt a Bitcoin standard. All of these would be rational things. It would strengthen the currency, and it would lessen the inflation rate of the currency. If I want to create massive inflation, I just do the opposite. I, declare war on 100 different things, and I spend 100x more than I take in, and I regulate everything and everyone everywhere, right? And that causes the currency to weaken, and in the extreme, completely collapses. So it seems reasonable that as Bitcoin grows and it gets better understood, rational nations will embrace Bitcoin holders and Bitcoin miners and Bitcoin companies. And as they embrace them, the politics will become more favorably disposed to Bitcoin. And as that happens, their companies will start to hold Bitcoin, and their families, and then eventually their institutions, and then their agencies, right? And as that happens, their currency becomes a Bitcoin derivative. Do you know how like a stock is a derivative? Like MicroStrategy is a Bitcoin derivative. Mm-hmm. So is GBTC. So is BITO, right? So is a Bitcoin miner. They're all securities, but they're derivatives of Bitcoin. Are they better than Bitcoin? Well, not over the long run. Over the long run, Bitcoin is the best thing. Are they different? Yes, but are they better as Bitcoin derivatives than if they were gold derivatives? See, if MicroStrategy bought 500 million in gold instead of 500 million in Bitcoin, we'd be a gold derivative. And gold has been flat to down in the past 2 years. So you see, if a nation adopts the gold standard, its currency becomes a gold derivative. If it adopts a Bitcoin, it becomes a Bitcoin derivative. The more Bitcoin technology and Bitcoin asset value in the citizens and the corporations domiciled in the nation state, the stronger the nation is, the more rational it gets, the stronger its currency gets. So the problem, the stark problem is when the currency is inflating at 50% a year, like let's say Argentina, right? That's the obvious problem, a collapse of the currency, or in Turkey, when the currency is collapsing. And when you have Bitcoin or the peso, that's an extreme proposition. And that sets up a confrontation, an unhealthy confrontation, right? Because now you're a citizen and you have to choose to support your nation state currency, or you have to choose the global currency against your nation state's wishes. Okay, that's hard. And so what do? If you're smart, right, you have like 5% fiat currency, 95% Bitcoin, right? And you kind of take the hit on the 5%, that's your checking account, and the 95%, you kind of preserve your store of value. That's what you do it. But what if you had a fiat currency, which was only inflating at 2% a year? Or 3% a year, right? I mean, the common narrative is that the dollar is only going to inflate at 2% a year. We know that's not true. The number is more like 7% in a good year. But when the number gets to be less than 7%, at 7%, then you've got 10 years to have your money cut in half. Okay, so you can rely on it reasonably for a year, 2, 3 years at a time below 7%. When it gets to 21%, you can rely on it for 24 to 36 months. And when it gets to 40%, right, you've got 1 year. that you can rely on it. And when it gets to 80 to 90% right, you've got weeks to months.
Mm-hmm.
So my point here really is there's easily $500 trillion worth of monetary energy divided between, probably a lot more than that, divided between bonds and equity and property and collectibles and real estate and currencies and Bitcoin. Bitcoin's only, right, it's not 1%, it's 10 basis points.
Yeah.
We're 0.1% of all of that right now. So, given a choice, you can either take the position that all nation-state governments must topple and fail today. I'm an enemy of all nation-states, so that Bitcoin is the sole currency. Or you can take the position that Bitcoin is simply going to be pari passu to gold and be 10 times bigger. Or Bitcoin is much better than gold, it'll be 100 times bigger. And you can partner with every nation state. If you use common sense, right? Like walk down the street and tell everybody you have a good idea and say, I've got a really good idea. It's going to be good for America, good for your family, good for your company, good for your city, good for your state, and good for you. And it's going to be fun. And think about how many people will want to embrace that idea. Oh, and it'll make you rich. That's one proposition. Bitcoin better than gold. The other proposition is, I need you to abandon your company, quit your job, leave your city, go to war with your state, go to war with your country, tell your family they're all stupid in order to do the right thing. And if they all agree with you, then maybe we'll make progress. And that's Bitcoin is the only currency. You see, so one of them is just so difficult as it's unnecessarily painful, and it doesn't get you anywhere.
Yeah,
well, you're not going to get 100 people to buy into that crusade. 95 or 99 out of 100 will just disagree with you, and you'll accomplish nothing. And if you flip it and say, I've just got a better technical idea, and it's just a better asset than gold, you'll persuade lots of them, and you will build up support exponentially over time. And at some point, 30 years out, 40 years out, 50 years out, maybe there'll be a nation that has a currency which is inflating at 3% a year and Bitcoin. And then you'll have this interesting political discussion. Do we get rid of our fiat currency and just go to all Bitcoin? And if we do, it'll be a peaceful transition. But there's no way there's going to be any peaceful transition in Argentina to Bitcoin right now. That's not happening.